Shane just walked away and helped over the vehicle.
Hi guys, we're here at the Slorex Salt Lake Off-Road Expo. We're here with Rob, the Overland Gear Guy. Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Overland Gear Guy is, how it started, give us your origin story and your background.
Okay. So basically we make anything soft goods, storage units and stuff, seat organizers, packing cubes, vinyl bags for like the roof and the spare tire trash bag, things like that, utensil deals. But if we go way back to the very beginning, I started out making police, military, emergency services stuff. So it was under the vest guy, and I still do that. And then back in the end of 18, I went to Overland Expo East.
Okay.
And I mean, seriously, I didn't know what the word Overland was before that. And my buddy says, hey, you want to meet me at Overland East? And then, so I met him there, and it's like, within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I already make stuff like this, and I make stuff like that. I can just do it in different colors, put my take on it and stuff. So right then and there, we got the website, got all the social medias. With less than a week, we had the website up and going and products on there and stuff. And then it wasn't too long after that, I got a Sprinter van and bone stock. I had it built out. And I was making stuff before that, but it's like, didn't really know what people needed and stuff. Mm-hmm. So after having the van and having it built out and stuff, it's like, okay, this is important. What I thought may be important before, maybe not so much, but then I thought, okay, you got to have this. This is super important. And then, just started making, a lot of stuff for Jeeps, Tacomas, and everything like that. And then it's just evolved over the years. And
here we are today.
Yep. And here we are with the Grenadier.
In the overlanding industry, function and durability is very important to people because they're spending good hard-earned money and they want to basically buy once, cry once, or get that value of only having to buy something one time.
Yep.
What is your products made out of, and what kind of warranty type of do you offer, things like that on your products?
So first of all, I've been doing this 33 years.
33 years?
Yep. And since the beginning, I've always had a lifetime workmanship warranty on everything.
Okay.
So if it ever comes unstitched, anything like that, people poke holes in them and stuff like that, I fix that and stuff, and usually for a very minimal charge like that and stuff.
Understandable.
But, the materials, it just depends on the color. So most of it's a Cordura nylon 1000 or a polyester 600. But like for the trash bag on the back of the spare tire and the tailgate, I do a lot of tailgate bags. That's made out of a vinyl. So like the semi trucks you see going down the road, they've got the flatbeds have a vinyl covering over them. Well, it's made for that durability to sustain.
So the overlanding community is a very diverse community, right? They have a lot of things. How do you stay engaged with your community?
Very active in social media. I'm going out with the different groups and stuff, and just. I haven't had a Jeep. I had a Cherokee one time, but
I remember actually.
But technically that's not like a Jeep. So I really didn't have much experience there. But going to the different expos where all the Jeeps are and stuff, and then hanging out with people like you that have it, and it's like, okay, what do you need for that? Because something for a Jeep may be totally different than,
Oh, absolutely, than a Grenadier.
Yeah, totally different.
And if people have something that they want and they don't see it anywhere and they can't find it, is that something that you can help them with?
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, for the entire 33 years, we've been custom making stuff. But lately, I mean, in the past, probably 3 months, it's been insane. Like almost every single day, we're custom making something. Somebody hit me up. It's like I got one of these pop-up showers that I got on Amazon, but I don't have a bag for it. So sent me the dimensions and stuff, and the stakes that came with it. I made him a bag, put it on Instagram, sold 2 right off the bat because it's custom. And the guy says, "Okay, my shower's this big." No problem. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, a lot of griddles, stuff like that.
Like the Scottles and
stuff like that. It's just, I mean, show me a picture, give me a drawing of, hey, I want the zipper to go this way, or I just need one zipper, this is the size, give me a link, whatever. I can make just about anything you can come up with.
Okay, and how would they get a hold of you if they want to reach out and do things like that? Where did the website, Instagram?
Basically, the probably easiest is to email me, overlandgearguy.com.
Okay.
But I am very active on Instagram.
That's for sure.
All our new products go to Instagram first. I hit it there. So if you want to follow and you want to see the newest stuff, I mean, it goes there usually within 10 minutes after putting it on a website.
Okay, so Rob, let's walk back to the backside of your Grenadier here real quick and take a look at some of the new stuff that you've developed for, I know you're working with Diabolical, and they've got a new shelf back there. So let's take a look and see what you've done back here.
Okay, so Diabolical reached out. They found out I had a Grenadier, and they wanted to make the slide out tray, and so they came out, measured, and then went out for a test fitting, and this is what we came up with. And then I made all my bags for it, but this thing is 38 inches across, 33 inches deep, and this is one configuration, but we got tons of different configurations of bags and stuff. But
and I've seen on their slide they have over there, you've got even one where they've got dividers, and you've made configurations for that as well. So
exactly,
any custom-made size bag that people want, if you don't have it, you can make it.
Yep, exactly. We'll have these in a kit online. Probably in like a week or so, but yeah, we made one for their Bronco, for their one of their Jeeps and stuff like that, and they're all different. So mine are, I believe, 4.5 inches tall. For the Bronco, I know we made those at 3.5 because it's a
little smaller.
Yeah, but
and we see a lot of your other products in the back. You've got stuff behind, laid on the back of the seat for storage. You've got a hammock type area for more storage, or attic, or
yeah, just you can put stuff. So if I just wanted, this, I can just pull this out, whoops, and then or just stack stuff up like that. So it's just you're not having to drag everything out. So this is a big help having this right here, and bringing there. But yeah, stack stuff there, and.
So basically, when you're going with the Overland Gear Guy here, your imagination's really the limit of anything you could do or assist people with having.
Yep.
Okay, Rob, well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's great to see you.
Good seeing
we'll
you.
talk again soon.
All right.
So, Jim, could you share with us the story behind JM Rigging, what inspired you to start the company, how long you've been in the industry?
Sure.
Just a little background of JM Rigging and yourself.
Sure. Well, I started when I was just a youngster. I believe I was 23 years old, and I got a job working special effects and stunt rigging in Hollywood. I did that for 28 years. I worked on Deep Blue Sea, all the Jurassic Parks, several of the Fast and Furious, and we were doing all kinds of stuff where we were being very innovative and trying to find new and better ways to pull off stunts and gags to make it look really good on TV. Which was where I got involved in rope splicing and stuff like that. It was very good, very lucrative, and I learned a lot. I got tired of it, became kind of monotonous and boring and working too much, no time to go spend money and have a good time on vacation. So I moved to Cedar City to open up just the rigging end of the company. Out at Three Peaks, they had a thing called a rock crawl. I'm like, what the heck is a rock crawl? So, we went out there and checked it out, and I was astounded at what these guys were driving their cars up that I can't even walk up. I met a young kid named Justin Hall, super wonderful guy, and I kind of got into the rigging recovery aspect of rock crawling, and it just expanded from there.
Yeah, we see you doing a lot of recoveries at the events and making sure the competitors get their rigs out if something happens, because they get in some precarious situations.
Oh, yes.
And I've seen you take plenty of time to get them out.
Yep.
So you're known for your high quality recovery and rigging equipment. What are some of your highlighted products that we can see that people would use every day or out on the trail? What's your products that we would want to highlight, or if you want to highlight, that are very important to the recovery industry?
The most important recovery tool of any off-roader is, of course, your winch line. I'm a huge supporter of winch lines, good quality, American-made Dyneema. and I support keeping your winch line protected and using other components that can possibly be hurt or damaged, you know, to protect your winch lines. You know, I came up with the Raptor stingers in order to be able to use a short piece of rope in place where you might break over and use a winch line that could be detrimental to the winch line. You know, if you've got a car flopped over on its lid and you got to drag the winch line across the bottom of the car tends to be really dirty. It can get up against hot parts and pieces and components. So rather than dragging your winch line over that and breaking it down the edge, let the Raptor stinger break it and come over the bottom and come in and connect to the winch line. You know, a good example of that is we had Steve Nance 2 years ago at the Trail Breaker for Trail Hero. And Steve had flopped over completely in a V-wedge. So there was no way to get a car this way, no way to get a car this way. The car had to come this way, you know, top over bottom.
Yep.
So we came in with a 6-foot Raptor stinger on the left side of the axle, 6 foot on the right axle, brought it together in a bridle with a soft shackle. We brought in Woody Swearigan's winch line, and it came out a couple of feet too short. Oh, wow. So the Raptor stingers are nice, light piece of material. I pulled a 4-footer out of my back pocket, connected it in there, hooked Woody's winch line up, flopped the car over. I think all of that rigging took us 10 minutes and we had the course clear and people were racing again.
And it was about that time that I actually bought my stinger, my little
Yes.
Raptor stingers as well.
Yes.
And we use them quite often.
Right. It was the same deal as when we did the very first Trail Breaker when soft shackles first came about in this industry. And Alan Woodson got his car wedged into the boom boom room really bad. I mean, really, really bad. So we actually had an excavator sitting up on top of the rocks for this one. The excavator bucket flew in, I broke out a soft shackle, and I was heckled by thousands of people.
Oh, I bet.
You're not gonna lift that car with that little thing, and I just didn't say anything. Hoisted his car out all on video, came over and set it down. The whole week I had people lined up at my booth telling me, I want one of those things you recovered Alan's car out of the boom boom room with. Didn't even know what they were called, you know? And hence
Early
the same
adopter.
thing. Yeah, same thing happened with the Raptor recoveries. Everybody's coming around, hey, whatever that configuration was you got Steve at, I want that setup. And hence there was the Raptor stingers.
So Jim, where do you see the company moving in the future? Do you have any plans for new product releases or anything like that that you can share with us, or is it all top secret?
Well, you know, most of my stuff is all top secret, but I'm very proud of what I do, and I'm very proud of the equipment that is made. All my rope uses pure Dyneema, made by DMS in the Netherlands. Comes to the States, it gets fabricated into rope in the USA, where it's sent to me, where I fabricate with my apprentice all the products that you see on the table, all the kinetic ropes, winch ropes, soft shackles, Raptor stingers.
And you do all that in Cedar City,
That's
Utah?
all done in-house in Cedar City. I'm not a fan of import products, and I don't do import products. I'm a fan of Dyneema. I do not like the UHMPE. It's Dyneema as far as I'm concerned. It's been proven to be the best winch rope, best recovery tool, and there's no need to change it. Why try to reinvent the wheel? You got a good product, why try and cheapen it up?
And Jim, what should people look for on a rope specifically when they're looking at recovery gear? If they're not coming to you, which they should, what should they look for to know they're getting a quality rope?
Well, everything should have a rating tag on it. Doesn't necessarily have to have serial numbers and stock numbers, but it should have a list of the size of it.
You're talking about this tag here?
This tag right here. It should have a list of the size, it should have the length, and it should have the braking strength and when it was manufactured.
Okay.
That's very, very important. The other thing to look for is this code down here that says Made in America. Try and find stuff that's made in America. I know we all have budgets, we all have kids, and we all have to really watch the money. But to buy quality recovery gear is really not that much more expensive.
It definitely pays to be safe, if we've all seen
right. And
incidents on the internet of not proper rigging or improper gear.
Exactly. And you also got to look at longevity too, How long, I paid X amount for this, I'm paying X amount for this, but what's the longevity of the two? Is this going to last as long as this one does?
Well, Jim, where can they reach you and find out any more about your company? Do you have a website?
Yep, you can always go to jmrigging.com. We have a really nice website. It's fully active, whether you're on your mobile phone or whether you're on a base unit. I am an actual rigging company because I do overhead rigging and stuff. It's a specialty of JM Rigging. And so we're there 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, sometimes later. I'd love to talk. Pick up the phone and call me if you have questions. I'll help get you down the right path. Whether you buy from me or whether you buy from somebody else, I'll steer you down the right path and make sure that you get what you need on your rig.
Well, Jim, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for talking with us.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day and see you all on the trail.
Thanks, Jim. We're back here at the Devos booth. Rick, going to tell us a little about the flagship product, the Devos Light Ranger. But first, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Devos, how did it get started? What is it? Where did it come from? How did you become such an impact in the industry, the off-road industry and overlanding?
It's quite an interesting story. We started out by just developing products for other people, and we decided we'd like to have our own products. We all enjoy the outdoors, so we started just coming up with outdoor products.
Okay.
And one of our ideas was this camp light.
The Light Ranger.
The Light Ranger, and it's taken off. So we've gone from working on products for other people to Devos as.
And how long has Devos been a company? How long has it been around? What year did you really get started making the lights?
About 3 years.
About 3 years now?
3 years now, yeah.
Okay. So not that long in the grand scheme of things.
Not that long.
And you've already developed a huge cult following, I know, because I'm part of it. I actually have several of these lights. Before I ever met these guys, I'd bought some of these and absolutely loved them. So the Light Ranger, tell us a little bit about the Light Ranger. It's your flagship product.
Absolutely.
I know you have them in a couple of sizes, but I have the 1200.
This is the 1200.
Okay, tell us a little bit about it.
So it's 1200 lumens, and all the LEDs are angled down. So once you put that up on a 9-foot pole, all your lighting goes down to where you need it. It doesn't go up into the sky where you can lose all those lumens. We've also come up with a way to pick which side you want lit up.
That way it doesn't waste all the battery all the time.
That's right. And then if you want to, you can hold the button down.
I say it also dims,
and
right?
Dims, that's correct. We built these risers into the top so you can put it flat on the ground and work underneath your rig at night.
I've actually done that as well.
Nice. And we've got this these holes in the top so you can hang it. It's USB-C. Charging in and charging out, and it has fast charge protocol.
And how long does it take to charge one? I know this is a question I have to ask because I messed this up.
So it charges to 60% in an hour, and then full charge in under 4 hours.
One thing you got to keep in mind, if the green light is flashing, that's only about 60%.
That's right. So if you hold the button down, it'll tell you what power level you're at. So we're at full charge here. Solid green.
I had to learn this the hard way after being So it also has several accessories. Like you see this, it's a great light, lights up camp. You know, it has a stand as you can see, a big tripod, but it also has several accessories you can add to the light.
That's right.
Let's talk about some of those accessories. Personally, the one I really like is the motion sensor.
Great, that's our latest development. So the motion sensor, can I grab that from you real quick?
Joe, give me that motion sensor.
So this is our new motion sensor. There you go. So it's got this nice little hook, so it snaps onto the pole.
Very convenient, very easily to use. It's got a bunch of settings on the side, on the top, where you can adjust the sensitivity and the time.
Sensitivity and time. And all you have to do is set whatever mode you want it to come on at. Plug it into the USB-C outlet. The light will blink. That means it's talking to each other now. So when the motion, it doesn't sense motion anymore, the light will turn off. And then when it does sense motion, it'll turn back on into this setting.
I can also attest that we've tested this in a very windy setting one night. We went camping together, and the motion sensor doesn't just pick up random flapping objects that we've noticed a little bit. Obviously, you have to dial in your sensitivity, but if you ever have to get up in the middle of the night, motion sensor's the way to go.
It really works, yeah.
And you also have a few other accessories to help with lighting. I don't know what you call it, the color of the lighting to keep the bugs down or whatnot.
So our major light is 5000K, and that's great for seeing everything. But sometimes that's just too bright, and sometimes you don't want the insects attracted to your light.
100%.
So we've got these 3 colors of filters. We've got a soft white, an amber, and a red.
And those just slide on over underneath the light,
That's
right?
right. So the red is really good for night vision. So you can still see the stars at night.
Which I've used that for recently.
That's right. The amber works really well for giving your campsite like the campfire glow. And both the amber and the red cut down on insects dramatically.
Now, so how long does the normal charge last on the light?
So full power, all 4 sides is 4 hours. Turn 2 of them off, you're 8 hours. Leave the one on, you're 16 hours.
But you also have an accessory where you can extend that time.
That's right. That's right. So we're now offering a snap-on battery pack. It literally snaps on, and then you plug in your USB-C from your cord from here to the bottom, and it literally doubles the life of your...
So all of those numbers, it doubles.
Doubles, yeah. So full power, you're at 8 hours.
But then you also have a way to charge this thing on the go if you're just leaving it at camp and need it to charge during the day while you're out hiking or whatever.
Like if you're dry camping for a few days, we offer this solar panel, 20-watt solar panel. In good sun, it'll charge the light in 5 to 6 hours. It just snaps on top. And then you just connect your USB-C output to your light USB-C. And you're good to go.
Guys, it's your all-in-one lighting solution. I know that there are some plans for future products. He's not going to tell us about them because he won't even tell me about them. But I know there's some plans for future products, so keep an eye on things. Where can they go to order their products and learn more about Devos and things like that?
DevosOutdoor.com.
And there's also an Instagram for Devos Outdoor.
At Devos Outdoor.
And the website, you can make all your orders there. And also keep an eye out because sometimes they do have sales, guys.
We do.
Rich, I appreciate it, sir. Oh, go ahead.
Join our email list so you can see what our new products coming out this summer.
Oh, there's new products this summer, hey?
That's right.
Any insider hints what they're going to be?
No
Dang.
hints yet.
All right, man, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vernon.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.
We're here at Factor 55's booth at the Salt Lake Off-Road Expo, here with Justin. He's going to tell us a little bit about Factor 55, what they do, what they stand for. Justin, thanks for having us. How did Factor 55 get started? What is it you guys do? I know you've been with Factor 55 since basically the beginning, so give us a little history.
Yeah, so Factor 55 was founded by Mike Costa. Mike was a mechanical engineer, went to Cal State Fullerton, worked for Ford Aerospace, Lam Research, worked on military satellites, semiconductors for a long time, but he was always an avid Toyota rock crawler. So us Jeep people, we don't, Toyotas, you know what I mean? But he, back in the early 80s, he was wheeling the Rubicon with Steve Suzuki from Power Tank, Chris Collar from Overland Journal. So he was always an avid rock crawler up there. In fact, in his 83 Hilux, he still has one of the original Marlin crawler boxes.
Really?
That Marlin actually hand signed.
Oh, nice.
So, you know what I mean? One love to Marlin crawler, miss that guy every day. But Mike really researched all the things that he was doing because he's an engineer. And so he really
That's how they think.
So when it came down to using steel cable, when synthetic ropes started being adapted over to off-road, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, there were things like the original safety thimble. They were spliced onto the end of the ropes, but there was nothing for steel cable, right? So that's where the idea of the winch line shackle mount really kind of came to fruition. And so when Mike moved from California to Idaho, he basically had started getting some sample products made, started the idea of some of these new products that he was going to develop, and Factor 55 was pretty much born. I got that. And so the name itself comes from precision engineering. So in precision engineering, you factor down to the minute details of a product to produce the best possible outcome. So that factoring down, right? And 55, other than alliteration purposes, Highway 55 basically starts in Marsing and runs right through Boise and through like Idaho.
Oh, right? Interesting. I didn't know that actually.
And so all of our trail systems are off of, can be
Highway 55.
Highway 55. So Factor 55. So so there's a little Idaho, a little throwback to that, even in the name of the company. And about 6 months into the start of the business, I met Mike, and here I am.
And have you been ever since?
I've been here ever since.
And everybody knows Justin.
Everybody.
So Factor 55 is this thing Tell me about closed system winching.
Yeah, so the idea of closed system winching came out of using closed link hardware with your winch rigging tackle. So traditional hooks aren't designed in that manner, because with a traditional winch hook, right, the traditional winch hooks were designed to where the load would always be centered in the throat for overhead lifting.
Right.
So no matter what, gravity would always move the load to the center of the throat of the hook. They were never designed for pulling.
Right.
So what's crazy is if you actually look into old worn winching catalogs and their old manuals, it shows to move the hook out of the way and interface a screw pin shackle with the end of the
Really?
line. Yeah. So
Smart.
even then they were talking about how using a piece of closed link hardware would never allow, whether you have tension and slack or tension and slack in the line, for any of your rigging tackle to come loose or fall apart, and that's what closed system winching can do.
And that makes it a lot safer for the user. It
100%.
makes it easier to know your rigging's still attached when
Yeah,
you
you
walk.
can drag it through the rocks, you can beat it on the rocks, doesn't matter. Until you back off the pin of that shackle, then it's not coming undone. So now, when you fast forward to present day and the use of synthetic rigging and soft shackles, we technically refer to soft shackles as semi-closed.
Semi-closed?
Semi-closed. And the reason being is because it's not a true screwed in all the way. Because
Right.
once you lock the pin of that shackle in, it ain't coming undone.
Right.
Right? But depending on the type of soft shackle that you use, and depending on how that shackle is spliced, some of the nooses just splice right back into the body. And so if you don't cheat that body of the shackle up to bunch up against the knot, that could be loose. And if you get enough slack in there, the knot could potentially fall out of the noose.
And guys, what he's talking about here is he's actually done a really good video recently with Will from Venture to Rome on this exact thing.
Oh yeah.
So you could actually check out Will's video, and he shows an actual demonstration at Factor 55 of what he's talking about
Yeah, and
right
I'll show
here.
you right here. Check this out. So the one thing about like our soft shackles and the way that they're spliced, all soft shackles, are made of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, right? But the difference is how they're spliced together. So this creates a button knot. That button knot has both legs buried back inside of itself. It's got a Brummel lock here and a Brummel lock here. So what that does is that it doesn't allow the end of this to be able to be pulled out. You can't pull this out because it's locked into place.
Right.
So the way that this noose is created, when that noose opens and you take the ball that goes through there, when it's under load, it self-tightens, right? So the chances of this ball falling through this noose are almost zero, right? So with some of the soft shackles where it's just spliced back into the body, if you open this and stick this in here, but you don't cheat the rope back up, then that could leave a gap, which could potentially leave the knot to fall out.
I haven't seen it fall out yet, but I've seen exactly what you're talking about with other soft shackles.
So that's why we talk about this being not closed loop,
but semi-closed. So what happens if somebody was to use the knot in the wrong noose?
Well, that's a bad day for that person.
So just pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, so part of it is like if you did it like this, not only could you double the line back out through here, but again, it's not. I mean, it
same
could hold
situation.
if it was locked, but it'd be in that same situation. But you will definitely not retain the full braking strength of your recovery equipment without actually properly learning how to.
You mentioned braking strength. This is a good segue here.
Yep.
What do you look for when you're looking for a good piece of recovery equipment? What is it you need to look at? We'll look for what factors?
So one of the big things that we really were adamant about was proper labeling, right? You'll hear a lot of things about average braking strength or maximum braking strength. We only deal with minimum braking strength. And what that means is that if you had 100 of these, you broke all 100, whatever one broke at the very lowest number, that's the minimum that this is going to break at, right?
Okay.
Not the average. So we have a few new products that are going to be coming out really soon, some stuff that we released at King of the Hammers, right? That you guys saw, right?
Yep, we did.
But those new products, once they get released, we'll really get into a deep dive about that and just exactly on how this new product actually is. We'll get into that.
Perfect.
But one of the key things is to find individual working load limits and minimum braking strengths, which are clearly marked and labeled on all of this. Now, a working load limit is the repeatable load that this part can see over and over and over again for its lifetime without ever seeing degradation. The minimum braking strength is going to have a safety factor that's built in.
Is it about 5 times?
This is 5 times. We do everything 5 times, so it's a 5-to-1 safety factor because that's a standard in overhead lifting.
And it gives you that peace of mind.
Exactly. So with this one, like this soft shackle is 7/16 and brakes at 39,000 pounds. It's Working load limit is 7,800 pounds, so that's that repeatable force you can put there over and over again. But because you have that 5-to-1 safety factor, even if you go above that, you get to 20,000 pounds or anything, but you're still not going to get to its minimum braking strength, right? So that's one of the key features. The other thing is we also offer individual serial numbers for material lot traceability, which means if you ever have a problem with one of these soft shackles, straps, any piece of synthetic rigging we make, you can literally take this serial number and we can trace it down to the day, to the workstation, and the person, and the lot and material of when that part was built and manufactured.
And that allows you to track down any potential defects or of that particular lot of
for
material.
Life safety,
right.
We're talking about keeping people safe on the trail.
Right, because we've all seen the videos.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
When we sell to the government and the military, it's for life safety. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, if people wanted to reach out to you, Justin, and order some stuff, where would they go do that?
They can go to factor55.com. That's what, everything's available right there on the website. We actually now sell worn winches and stuff as well on our website. So there's tons of good information that's on there. There's a ton of training videos on both the Warn and Factor 55 YouTube channels, and then also on Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 blah.
All the social medias, just Warn and Factor 55.
Yeah, I'm hard to not find.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anywhere I go, I say, oh, there's Justin. Justin, I appreciate your time.
Great to see you, buddy.
Great to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, we're here at the bigtruckstore.com, Big Truck Off-Road booth, talking with Trey. He is the founder, owner of Big Truck Off-Road. So he's got a very unique product, only one I've ever seen in my life. Today we're going to get a little history of Big Truck, and then we'll talk about his product and let him go over it for you. So Trey, tell us a little bit about Big Truck, where it started, why it started, etc.
I started this company probably about 16 months ago. Why it started, it had one goal. It was to make sure that, the undercarriage of all our vehicles were taken care of. A little background about me, I love to work on my own vehicles. I have a 2019 F-250 that I love to work on, and then a 2018 Silverado that I built into more of a desert style truck. And I got so sick and tired of wrenching on my truck and dirt and dust falling into my eye.
It's always a problem.
It always happens no matter
any
what.
Off-roader, any off-roader is going to know that.
You take it in the dirt, mud, sand once, it's game over. So I got so sick and tired of dirt falling into my eye, they said there's got to be a solution to get the dirt out of your frame. And I either said, look, I'm either going to develop something or I'm selling my truck on Facebook Marketplace.
I'm glad you did.
So over the last 16 months, been developing this product, and this is just where we are today.
So the product, it's your Big Truck chassis flusher.
Yep.
And it's designed to, it's got the magnets in the thing, we'll show the product here in a moment, but it'll magnetize to the frame, any hole in the frame.
Yep. And
with the pressurized from just your regular garden hose, the nozzle that inserts into the frame sprays in all directions, flushing out the inside of your chassis / frame, or as a razor if you had.
It works on the bottom of the skid plates for
bottom of the skid plates or anything like that. It flushes all dirt out.
Yep.
I'll tell you guys, when I first saw it, I was a little skeptical. I was like, I don't know, maybe. I understood the concept, but wasn't sure how good it was going to work. We used it. Outstanding. The amount of dirt, sand, and crap that came out of the frame of the vehicle we were doing, the 2022 Jeep Gladiator, was insane. You would have never thought it. So Trey, let's see the product and tell us how it works.
Okay.
All right, what's in the kit, Trey?
So this is everything that comes in our kits, everything that you need to flush out your chassis. So it comes with your hose. It's about 3 foot long. Comes with all of your quick connects. Comes with your connect to your standard garden hose. Comes with your standard inline soap. This is the chassis flusher itself. And then it comes with 2 fittings. So it comes with an elbow fitting to run with water, and it comes with your standard NPT air hose fitting to connect to your air hose.
Okay, so what does the NTP fitting do for you, and how would you go about, what process would you use here?
So the NPT fitting, I would throw it into the back of the chassis flusher, just like this. It just threads right into it. And then you would connect your air hose to it. plug it into your chassis, into any hole along the frame, and now you have compressed air blowing out of all of these slits here in all different directions to get sand, or to when you're done flushing it out with water, you can dry out the inside of your chassis.
So you can do a wet or a dry clean.
So you can do a wet or dry clean with it.
Okay. So, and I see here on the table,
Yep.
I'm just going to grab it real quick. A fully assembled unit.
Yep, this is a fully assembled unit right here
Is-
for water.
And you just pull this open, put
Yep.
in whatever detergent. Is there a specific detergent you would
No, so
recommend?
I like
or-
to use anything with a degreaser. Any of your favorite off-road wash works phenomenal. So this is just your inline soap dispenser right here.
And then you have your standard mixing for your
Yep.
foam can, like a standard foam
On your
cannon.
standard foam cannon. You can choose your water to soap ratio. Some people like a lot more soap. Some people like to run it a little more lean. Just depends on, you know, your own personal preference.
Okay. So again, guys, I've never seen anything like it other than this one. Again, also very skeptical when I first looked at it. I was like, really? It seems so simple.
Yep.
But it is simple and it does work phenomenally well. So be sure to check it out, bigtruckstore.com. Follow Big Truck on Instagram, TikTok,
Yep.
all the social medias.
All the social medias.
YouTube.
Yep.
You have a Facebook? No.
We do not have a Facebook yet.
But we're
but
gonna
that'll be
have.
up
He's going to have a
next week.
Facebook soon in the next week.
Yep.
So make sure you follow all the socials and go to bigtruckstore.com. On the 5th is when
Yep.
the website goes live. Put in your orders. You better get it. It's going to go quick
Yep.
and you're going to need it. Trey, thank you for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Slorex for 2024 was a huge success. There were lots of vendors to check out for all your needs from overlanding to UTVs. If you weren't able to check out Slorex this year, they also have Borex happening in Boise, Idaho on April 12th and 13th. Be sure to check it out. This is Crawllander. Gear up and venture out.